Wake up, bitch. New Step Brothers just dropped.
Welcome back, boys and girls. It's been a long couple of weeks. I just want y'all to know that I was severely under the weather last week, but we're back. We're here. We're fucking queer. We're fucking doing this thing.
Get used to it, motherfuckers.
Welcome to Step Brothers Live. What's going on, everybody?
So first off, let's just say, and trust me, if you both pay attention to us and pay attention to wrestling, you probably already fucking know this is true. But me and Mike, we both laughed a lot that the 1 week in a while that we've taken a week off, and I think the only week really that we've taken off because one of us was not feeling good, is the 1 week that it was actually good and we would have had enough shit to talk about and like worth doing a podcast over. Because every week that we've come to you on Twitch, I swear to God, it's been like filler.
It really has. It is
Like
really
every video episode, like we have not had shit to talk about, like no development. Like I wish we would have fucking had this during like pre-WrestleMania 40.
Yeah, for real.
Dude, because goddamn, you would have seen some emotion out of us, ladies and gentlemen. Truly.
I wish we would have had a way to live stream our reactions to the finish of night 2.
Bro,
if you could have
if that would have got caught on film, the hug that you and I shared would have millions of views.
Dude, what a fucking moment.
Yeah.
This is my favorite WrestleMania moment ever so far.
Straight the fuck up, dude. Yeah. And it's weird. And I don't know if anybody out there can relate to this. I know it's a big thing with me, with wrestling in particular, but I always have a hard time when something is new and fresh, considering it like great amongst great things, if that makes sense. Like, it's hard to think of Cody and everything that's going on now in the same way that you think of like Stone Cold Steve Austin. But realistically, like you go back a few years and like, once the freshness comes off of it, like, I don't know. I truly feel like that was, like you said, I think that was my all-time WrestleMania moment too, at least up to this point. Like that was, I've never been so invested in one single thing.
Like emotionally invested.
Exactly. I've never been so invested in like a single storyline. And what's crazy is the two motherfuckers that faced off at both WrestleMania 39 and WrestleMania 40 faced off again tonight. In the middle of a football field.
Yeah. And it was fucking poetic.
Dude, that was one of the best segments of the year. And I was sitting there making fun of it while it was happening. But we actually sat down and we watched SmackDown together for the first time in a while. It was really nice.
A little while. Yeah, it was fun.
But yeah, I was sitting there laughing. I was like, these two motherfuckers in a football field of all things. But poetic is the right word, truly. It was just, wow. And in one fell swoop, we've got all the ingredients and I'm invested again.
Yeah. Two gladiators in a coliseum, and it was perfect.
Yeah. And Roman, man, let me just take a moment to say, it would have been too easy, way too easy to take the reactions that Roman Reigns is getting for the first time in his career. Yeah. Never, ever has Roman Reigns been cheered like he gets cheered now. It would have been far too easy for them to take that because he started getting those reactions when he was gone, and completely change his presentation into something the fans didn't want to cheer. And if there was any question about it tonight, they really showed us that this is the same Roman Reigns. This is the same arrogant, in his own head, unbeatable tribal chief.
Yep.
Everything is still his in his mind. He may have lost it, but like it's his to reclaim. And he truly believes nothing's changed about this man, and that's awesome. I'm glad that they have stuck to what works with Roman, because again, I think that it would have been far too easy to be like, okay, well, now we're going to have him go thank the fans, all this bullshit. But that would have probably had the opposite effect.
Yeah.
We would have been right back to booing the motherfucker.
Yep.
So good on Triple H, good on WWE for how they're doing this.
Yep.
Because man, if I wasn't already interested in Bad Blood, this might be the match to see. You know what I mean?
I think it is.
Tag team match
for a lot of reasons.
Shit, getting to see, and we saw it a little bit tonight. Jacob Fatu squaring up with Cody Rhodes. We're finally going to get to see him square up with Roman Reigns, which I think is, what people have been waiting on.
Agreed.
We also finally heard him mention Jimmy Uso tonight. Where the fuck is Jimmy Uso? I don't know, but Roman Reigns still gives a shit.
Yep.
Paul Heyman, you said it, I think, on the way to your house, but I think they're coming back together, Jimmy and Paul.
To, right?
Yeah. Man. So if we're thinking in terms of war games, right? So if we've got Solo, Jacob, Tama Tonga, and the real tribal chief, the infamous Tongaloa.
Okay. I hate you.
We've got Roman, we've got Jimmy. We've got Jay, and we've got Sammy.
I mean, that's how I see it going.
4 on 4.
I could even see Cody being involved in that match.
That'd be crazy. That'd be crazy. Man, you think people are having mixed emotions about Cody Rhodes right now? Imagine if he fought alongside like the whole OG bloodline. That's already going to be a tough sell for Sami Zayn.
Like the whole thing is a tough sell on pretty much every angle.
Like I wouldn't even necessarily like myself. Like I know I'm literally the one bringing Sami Zayn into this. Like I know he's not involved in any way right now, but again, if we're thinking in terms of war games, or hell, even if we're thinking about equalizing the numbers here, because it's not like Cody Rhodes is going to be a longtime ally to Roman Reigns. Like that just doesn't make any sense.
Right.
It just, no. Like they're not going to, unless Cody is something like the fifth man, like what you said in war games. Like that's the only time something like that would happen. Like he's not going to be like an integral part of the team, and the only thing I can think of, again, in terms of equalizing the numbers, you bring Jimmy back. Yeah, him and Jay had like the worst WrestleMania match of all time. And
they did. God.
They really are pissed off and they hate each other. But you can tell the story of Jimmy winning Jay back over. Like that makes sense.
They're twins. Like they're not
literally, yeah. And Sammy, like, come on, Sammy loves Jay. Everybody fucking loves Jay. That part's not hard for me to believe either. You get all the pieces together. It can definitely happen. The problem with that is, if you're talking about like collective power levels of a team here, right? You put Roman Reigns, the Usos, and Sami Zayn, who beat Gunther this year at WrestleMania, on a team.
It's the most over fucking power group in WWE right now.
Literally. And okay, so on the opposite side, you've got Jacob Fatu carrying literally all the weight there.
Yeah.
Because, one thing that I will say, and maybe this is a fault on Triple H's booking, I think only time will tell. But they've really told us one thing about this new bloodline, and that is, for one, you can beat the shit out of the Tongans, especially if they're by themselves. Like you'll whoop their ass.
Mm-hmm.
Any good, like hell, the Street Profits probably beat them if no one else is around. Most of the tag team division might not even have the hardest time with them. I feel like they're not even presented as being super fucking good. Solo, arguably even worse. If he's by himself, fucking any upper mid carder can beat him. In my opinion, KO can beat him. Cody kicked his ass twice. They haven't presented Solo as good as they have Roman.
Yeah.
Because the thing is, Roman cheated.
And I think that's the point, honest to God.
Yeah. But Jacob Fatu, on the other hand, like,
you could sell me on that dude being the tribal chief any day of the week.
Literally. And again, I wonder if that's the point, because, reports came out even before Jacob debuted, that they were anticipating him overshadowing Solo and overshadowing everybody else. And I don't know if you remember me talking about it, but I think it was in February of this year when I went to Dallas and went to GCW.
When you went to GCW? Yeah.
Yeah, dude. So I saw Solo and Zilla Fatu, or not Solo, Jacob Fatu and Zilla Fatu wrestle in a tag team match there.
Yeah.
And I remember thinking that Jacob Fatu was like one of the most insanely good fucking wrestlers I'd ever seen in my life. And it was weird. It was really weird. I was like, what the fuck? Like, how is this dude so good? And then to see him on WWE TV now, it's like,
yeah,
dude, he's even better.
Yeah.
And
crazy.
Yeah, it's almost like, unless exactly what you and I feel like everybody else in the entire world is thinking about this guy was put there completely intentionally, then they have fucked up royally.
Mm-hmm.
Like, if they're trying to sell him as anything less, like, they're doing a disservice to everybody. Because this motherfucker,
completely agree.
He is it. He out of all the Samoan bastards, and there's
a fucking ton of them.
Too many to count. But out of all of them, dude,
he is by far the best.
I gotta say, like, this guy impresses me the most, and that's saying a lot.
Yeah.
Because I feel like I like Solo a decent amount. Like, I've always been pretty fond of Solo. I would say even previous to this, I feel like I liked him more. I don't know. This is not a bad run by any means, but at the same time, like, I think they're presenting him as somebody that's like too big for his britches, so to speak.
Mm-hmm.
Like, he thinks he's more than he is. And he's not ready to fill Roman Reigns' shoes.
Right.
But fuck, Jacob's ready to fucking make some shoes that Roman Reigns can't fit in, dog. Like, fuck.
Yep.
And I feel like they need to be ready for that. Like, this motherfucker realistically needs to usurp Solo Sikoa, kick his ass, because he could take the rest of the bloodline by himself in a handicap match.
Yeah, and I would love to watch that happen.
Yeah. And then, he could honestly probably beat Roman Reigns after that. Hold on. Okay, no, I just received communication. I don't know why I'm telling you about it, because I'm not going to repeat it, but I just received something from production, and I think you'd agree. But anyway, ladies and gentlemen, I feel like that's enough talk about the bloodline in general. We just kind of came in like swinging with that shit. Okay. But, they got it like that, man. Like, I don't know, dude. Like, I will never not be a believer in this fucking bloodline bullshit ever again in my life, because
right. They've got it figured out, man.
Yeah, every time I'm out, they just rope me back in.
Yeah, every time you think it's going down, it fucking back to it.
Nuts. It's crazy. But yeah, dude, I don't know. I thought that SmackDown was pretty good. One thing that I do want to talk about, I think that it's pretty cool what they're doing with Giovanni Vinci, and I can't believe I'm saying that. I can't believe I'm saying that, and it's the second thing I'm bringing up. Like, that's the fucking crazy thing.
They're cooking something, and it's gonna be good.
Yeah, it's working.
Good. Yeah.
That's the thing that fucking bothers me, is it's working. And I had no hope for this. None.
I didn't either.
When he was
I was
going
like, they're
for
going to
so
bring it
long,
back and it's going to suck, but it's pretty good, and I'm not mad at it. I'm very happy it's working
yeah, I don't
because
know.
it's fucking funny.
Yeah, I think it's funny. I think it's cool. I think he's actually gonna somehow fucking get over, which is awesome. Good for him.
I'm glad that it's Apollo that's the one doing it.
Apollo is just one of those kind of like utility guys. Like he's somebody that you keep around because like he's actually really good.
He is.
Like his matches are phenomenal. I don't know what stopped him from going further. I know he's had the United States and Intercontinental Championships. I think both a couple times.
That was back before they had any focus, though.
Yeah, and I don't know. He's always been very very passable. You know what I mean? And like I could see why you would keep somebody like him around. You know, especially in a role like this when you're taking a guy who's new to the main roster, so to speak, especially as a singles guy. You're trying to get him over. I think Cruz and Corbin, sorry, Grant, are good talents for things like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like you need motherfuckers like that, and you know what? They stick around and they end up in the Hall of Fame.
Agreed, and I think both of them are very deserving of that.
Yeah, like they're. This feels shitty to say because I'm some motherfucker sitting on a couch critiquing these athletic motherfuckers, but at the same time, like I don't know, it's something to be said in a world of wrestlers who I don't know, like we talked about it a little bit earlier. They have like really big egos, and some of them rightfully so to themselves. And I don't know. I feel like guys like Apollo and Baron Corbin, like maybe not. They weren't given a fair shake. Who am I to say? I don't know. But they've always kind of taken what they were given and like done the most with it. And again, I think there's something to be said about guys like that. And I think I had this realization. I don't know if it was you and I or you and Drew, or if I was just sitting here by myself one day and I was thinking about the Viking Raiders.
Oh man.
And because I've always thought like, what a stupid fucking gimmick. You know what I mean? Like how like fucking dumb to be like shoehorned into like a very gimmicky thing. You know what I mean? Like you're only ever going to be the super over the top fucking Viking. And then like I took a step back and I really thought about it. And I was like, these dudes get to go home and they're like, yeah, dude, I get paid a fuckload of money to just be a Viking on TV.
Yeah, it's fucking crazy.
And I was like, that's cool as fuck, man. Like,
I love those guys, man. Eric and Ivar are some of my favorites. And I hate that Eric got hurt and then like right before Eric was supposed to come back, Ivar gets hurt. And I was like, fuck, man.
And they had done so much with Ivar too.
Dude, Ivar was killing it, bro. That whole thing with him and Otis and Bronson Reed, God, it was so good.
Yeah.
Big meaty men slapping meat, bro.
And see, I think they were finally going to start salvaging them from, and I think the tale that I'm telling here is going to become very apparent because, in NXT, in Triple H's NXT, the Viking Experience, as they were once known, they were incredible because they were these two really badass fucking athletic dudes who dressed up as Vikings. And that was cool as fuck. They were hard hitting. They were fucking intense. It was great. And see, the phrasing matters here because as they got called up to the main roster that at the time was not under Triple H, they slowly went from like badass motherfuckers who basically cosplayed as Vikings to be cool into like weird Vikings.
Well, they went through those two name changes too. So they were the Viking Raiders, and then they were the War Raiders, or no,
they were the War Raiders first. Yeah, okay. And then they were the Viking Experience.
Yes,
and now they're the Viking Raiders,
which is the correct name.
Yeah,
but the Viking Experience, I really hated that name.
Yeah. Honestly,
the War Raiders I could get behind, but I really just like the Viking Raiders, and I feel like that's what it should have been from the get-go.
See, War Raiders or Viking Raiders, I'm fine with. Either one of them is fine.
Yeah.
For me, like, because I don't know, I could even get behind Viking Raiders, like you said, being a better name overall. But from the get go, like it's just like why change it to begin with? Like you have something
Yeah.
like good from the beginning that they're known as.
Hmm.
I thought it was better when they were Hanson and Rowe
Yeah.
because it's like again, like it's like they're dudes. You know what I mean? Like it's almost like they were fucking like metalheads.
Yeah. I
And
do
now,
like that they have more traditional Viking names now.
see, it's cool that it would be cool with the names I'm fine with, but the names are only like to me the names were like one of many things that they added that made it like corny.
Sure.
Like it went from being a very cool thing to something that was just like kind of cringe. But it was just because they went too far with it.
Yeah. That's fair.
And like I don't know, like that because they're fucking awesome. Like let's not let that not be the main takeaway here. They're fucking awesome.
Right.
Both of them are amazing. But yeah, I thought it was cool, and I hope, man, it's one of those things where I kind of hope since we got that little run of Ivar being a singles guy, I kind of hope that it's like now that we know he can do that, maybe in the future we'll get some more.
Yeah. Yeah, I just hope that they're both able to come back really soon because I do miss them, and their matches are always really fun.
Yeah,
And I just hate that they're both gone right now. Like it just
it's
sucks.
weird.
It's
It's
yeah,
weird.
and I don't know if maybe Eric is still hurt.
I think he like broke his neck, dude. I think it was like a pretty serious injury.
See, I couldn't remember. I thought it was a torn ACL.
Damn. So one of us is very wrong. But either way, I know it was something like super serious. I may have pulled that neck thing out of my ass, but I remember it was something like that was going to put him out for a while.
That's fair. That's fair. So when do you think what's his name Xavier Wood is going to turn on Kofi?
See, that's a good question. So I saw a report today. Well, it was more of a tweet, I think, and less of a report. I can't remember exactly the context, but Xavier Woods said something to the effect about like he had some old friends, something. Don't know what he's hinting at. Don't know what they're teasing with the New Day because realistically, could be a number of things.
Right.
I don't want to get my hopes up or get too optimistic, but one thing that it could be, just talking about possibilities here, this could be something to do with Big E.
Could be.
This whole angle with the New Day could have something to do with Big E coming back. And the reason I say that, even when, he who shall no longer be named was a part of the New Day for a little bit, they kind of mentioned, or I think Xavier did, like, you're trying to replace E.
Yeah.
And
For a moment there, I thought you were talking about Chris Benoit.
I don't think Chris Benoit was ever with the New Day.
No, but I was like, what?
I don't really think the power of positivity and Chris Benoit like really mesh too
They
well.
probably don't jive.
No. But no, I'm talking about domestic violence Jones. But yeah, so
Obestius, we should say.
obese. Oh, it's funny because he's fat.
I hope Grant didn't hear that.
No, he's gonna have two. He heard it somewhere. He just
He felt it in the universe. He's like, somebody just came up with a good fat name.
Which actually, folks, that reminds me, we got to do our paid programming. Ladies and gentlemen, the Step Brothers Wrestling Podcast is brought to you by Hot Dogs. Hot dogs. Eat them while they're hot. And folks, we are back from our paid programming. So, we talked a little bit about SmackDown, Big Country. Raw was pretty good too.
Oh, this is a good week, man. We haven't had one of these in a long time.
One of these what?
A good week.
I know, dude. Yeah, Raw was good. The one thing I want to talk about, because I know I have a lot of mixed emotions about it. I think you might as well. The world title picture right now with Gunther, it's looking like his next challenger is going to be Sami Zayn.
Man, I really don't like it.
See, okay.
I get it. Like, he was the last guy to beat Gunther. I get that.
Well, I'll put it to you this way.
I'm tired of the repetition,
Well, this is how I've kind of thought of it in the last couple of days. Realistically, and I'll tell you why. I don't think you could put anybody versus Gunther right now, and I'd be too happy about it. Realistically.
Yeah.
And you know why? Because I know they're not going to win.
Yeah.
There's no match right now that's not a foregone conclusion. And number one, and like that's only one of a variety of reasons. Well, but that's a big one because I know Gunther's not going to lose anytime soon, so there's no suspense. I guess Sammy is the closest thing to giving it suspense because he's the last guy that beat him, but that still doesn't give it any fucking suspense.
Yeah, that's where I'm at. That's why I don't want it.
On top of that, it's not like Gunther has a great rival yet.
Mm-hmm.
So there's nobody that you're going to pit him against that it's like, ooh. I mean, you could have him fight Dragunov or Braun Breaker, but realistically, I know they fought, and I know those guys have beaten Gunther, but on the main roster, how things stand now, it doesn't make sense.
I think it would be good for Dragunov to beat him in like a year and a half.
Yeah.
Dragunov has to have a mid-card title run first.
Even not withstanding, like even if he never has a mid-card title run, I agree that he should. But what you've got to do, and I've said this before, and I think that they're doing a really good job with this so far. The main roster audience is not NXT's audience.
Yeah.
Apples to oranges.
Yeah, not the same.
And you've got to build this guy up because he's not in any way your traditional babyface. But that's what he is he's a hell of a babyface. Mm-hmm. But Ilya Dragunov sounds like a Bond villain. Sounds like a bad guy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And like not that long ago, a Russian of any kind, I don't give a fuck what his name is, would not be a good guy, would not be presented as a babyface on TV.
Yeah.
It just wouldn't happen. WWE, if nothing else, and should I say Vince's WWE, and you can't necessarily knock it because it was a formula that worked, especially back in the 80s with Hulk Hogan. You had your conquering American hero versus the evil foreigner. When you look at wrestling as like a comic book, it's cool. And that's what you do. Like, it's like Rocky. You know what I mean? You have the great American hero beat the fucking Russian or the Iranian bad guy. But in modern wrestling, that's just not how things are anymore. Like, you can be a Russian or an Iranian, I guess,
right?
Whoever, and be a babyface or a villain. And it's just, I don't know. It's different. It's not like how it used to be.
It's a different world, man. It's really not the same, and you can't do the same things that you could do 20 years ago.
Well, see, yeah, I mean, that is one factor, but like, I'm not even like looking at it within those means. Like, I'm just thinking of like WWE and like how it's presented. Yeah, like, it's like a worldwide thing. And like, I don't know, like, I guess back then, I don't know, I feel like you could find some foreigner who's like a bodybuilder and you could be like, hey, I need a foreigner to come play the bad guy. And they'd be like, oh, hell yeah. But you take a guy like Ilya Dragunov, I bet it was just his dream to be a pro wrestler.
So Hagen has a question, and I like it.
Let's hear it.
If you could be any person on the roster, and I assume he means like the active WWE roster, who would you be? Current. And for me, I think it's easy, just because I can align with this guy very easily, and it's Braun Strowman.
Yeah, I can see that.
I just align with that guy. Like, he's loud, I'm loud. He's funny, I'm funny. He's fucking huge, I'm fucking huge. Like, I think it'd be fun.
You know, I hate myself for this answer, but it's like a pros and cons kind of thing. But I'm gonna have to go with Kevin Owens.
Yeah, man, I see that.
Because I get wrapped up in everybody's bullshit.
And you got a temper.
But it's because I'm the only person in the room who can see through everybody's bullshit.
Yeah.
I'm the only person who's brave enough to be like, no, you're a fucking liar. And if I am Kevin Owens, this is the only time I can admit this, because Steve doesn't know this, and Steve would never admit this. But Kevin Owens knows that Elias and Ezekiel were the same person.
He knows.
Nobody else knows that.
No. No one else was privy to that information.
Which is crazy.
It's nuts. I don't even know that. I don't believe
Chime
it's
in,
real.
folks. If you could be anybody on the roster, who would you be?
Hagen, I know you don't watch wrestling that much, and I appreciate you chiming in every week when we do this.
Yeah, thank you, Hagen.
But if you want to educate yourself on active WWE roster and characters, and chime in with who you think you would be.
You know, I want to have more fun with this question, Mike. Who on the active roster would Drew be? Since Drew's not here to speak for himself.
Ooh. Man. I don't know. If I had to pick, it'd probably be R-Truth.
What's up?
Because Drew's retarded, R-Truth is retarded.
Yeah.
Neither one of them know how to read or speak English properly.
Yeah.
So I think Drew would be R-Truth. And realistically, he wouldn't be, but I think it's pretty close.
I think it's a funny one. What about Leon?
On a serious note, I think Drew would be, oh man, probably like Tama Tonga.
See, honestly, Drew and I would have to just share Kevin Owens.
Yeah, that's fair. Hagen, I can respect that. Stone Cold is my favorite.
What?
Stone Cold is my all-time favorite, and he always will be. Him and The Undertaker are two of my very favorites.
Well, can I change mine?
Yeah.
Drew can be Kevin Owens. I want to be CM Punk.
That's fair.
Because I just want to be CM Punk. No other specific reason. I just want to know what it's like to be holy, you know?
You're already holy. You've got gauges.
That's right. That's right.
Punny.
I like
Punny.
It. Yeah.
I apologize, guys. My allergies are kicking in right now. That's why I keep muting myself to blow my nose.
Who would Leal be? Since he's not here to speak for himself either.
I got to run to the living room, but I can still hear you. I'll be right back.
All right, well, let's...
He would be Dirty Dom, though.
Yeah, for sure.
Modern day Latino heat.
Yep.
Kind of goofy.
Yeah. Pisses everybody off really bad.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's Dirty Dom.
I'm back.
Yeah, and I don't know what else happened this week. I'm trying to think.
I mean, the developments in the women's championship on SmackDown was pretty good.
Yeah, I will say,
I like that storyline.
I do too. I will say I think everybody involved is playing their part pretty well. But I mean, it's not about Bailey and Naomi right now.
Oh no, it
And
is not.
that is glaringly obvious.
Yeah, extremely. Like I can't wait for Tiffy to cash in. I hope she does at Bad
Yeah.
Blood. I hope she does. Honestly,
It's crazy that I'm this invested right now in Nia Jax. But
right?
she's doing great.
It feels wrong. It feels
Yeah.
dirty.
She's doing
to be
great.
this
though.
involved. She is, and I'm telling you, I'm the biggest Nia Jax hater in the world.
Yeah.
She is doing so well right now. Her
See,
character work has come so far. Her wrestling has gotten so much better. Like I'm just super impressed.
See, and this is as far as I'll toe the line. Like I will admit when my opinion changes in regards to someone like Nia Jax. Natalia could come out tomorrow and wrestle a match like Will Ospreay, and like you would never hear me say anything good about it.
Nope, bro. Her match on Monday was ass.
I don't remember watching it. I probably either
you were asleep.
No, I watched Raw though.
You like later.
Like I woke up really early that morning and watched Raw.
What's up, Ryan? What? Baby bro is here.
Yeah.
What are you doing, man? Oh, he's probably at work. I know he's working nights. I don't know if he works tonight, but
Yep, stepbrother coming at you everywhere.
Shit.
At work, at home,
my
church.
baby boy right there.
I know people watch this at church. I heard about that.
You better be fucking asleep.
I heard. I heard we've got some viewers that if the preacher gets up there and he's giving a sermon that they've heard before, they'll pull out their phone and they'll put on Step Brothers instead.
Yeah.
Only if it's a sermon they've heard before, though.
Yeah, only.
Yeah, they don't want to miss nothing new. And
it's kind of late, Ryan. What are you doing, bro?
You can even listen to us in the shower. Shit.
Yeah.
Come at you.
Shit. Well, I guess my little brother's going to the stockyards tonight. Must be nice. I'm stuck in Lubbock. It's okay. I'd rather be doing this than spending money at some bar I've never been to. So.
Fair enough. Rather be talking.
That's why we're here, folks. Happy Friday, Step Brothers Day.
Hell yes.
Hell yes.
Yeah, we thank you for inviting us into your home and into your shower on this beautiful Friday evening. Listen to us talk about professional wrestling.
Shit. Drew's trying to join us. I am fucking up. Bro, I'm sorry. How long were you there?
It's like 5 minutes.
I'm sorry, man.
Not really. I'm just joking. Like probably like 30 seconds, if that.
Okay. I was like, no.
Just this National Step Brothers Day.
Hell yeah. That's every day of the week, old son.
I don't know.
Ryan, I'm doing the same thing, bro. Send videos. I want to see.
Hell yes. Did you watch SmackDown, bro?
Yeah, it was all right.
Yeah. It wasn't as good as last week's, sadly, but it was still pretty good.
It looks different since it's on USA.
I like that football. I like the football fucking stadium.
Dude, I thought it was a movie for a moment.
Bro, I didn't know what to think when we're going back to the bloodline, but yeah, we got to talk to Drew about the bloodline now.
Dude, I just want to say, I thought it was hilarious that Cody called out Roman for bringing 7 cars to drop him off at the football. And Cody just rolled up in a Mustang and said, "What's up, dude?"
Yeah, it's from Cody's from.
That's Cody City, man.
Yeah. But it's Roman Stadium specifically. That building is his.
Yeah, that's why I was confused because it was like it's Roman Reigns' stadium, but they're in Georgia. But Cody Rhodes was there, and he's from Atlanta. But it's down the road.
What's that coming down the track? It's the Mean Machine in red and black.
Yeah.
Oh shit! Hold on. Hold on. I'll be right back.
After these messages.
can't stop blowing my nose. It's driving me nuts.
Can't stop, won't stop.
So,
Anyway, folks, we were talking about the women's division on SmackDown. What are the women doing on Raw?
women on Raw.
They're just fighting over Dom.
We've got the fucking whatever Fusion Collective constantly going after Zelina and Lyra, and that's where fucking Natty came in this week. It was fucking dumb. I don't like it. I don't like the name. Like I'm fine with the lesbians having their own group. Like
Yeah,
that's great.
I like those three. I do.
I like the three. I do. I think they're great. I don't like the name of the group. I don't like that Sonya is the leader.
Shayna should be the leader.
Shayna should be the leader. Thank you. But like, I don't know. I don't
Sonya's
like the name.
leader because she's the promo person,
and she's the veteran, really.
And it's fine. It's fine. It's fine. It's whatever. The name takes away from it a lot for me, and I don't know. I'm willing to give the whole thing a chance, but like what I really want to see is something that I've mostly never seen from Shayna Baszler, and that's results.
Seriously.
Because the thing is,
I really want Shayna to have a women's championship.
She should.
She should. She's a fucking badass.
That woman is everything Vince McMahon wanted Ronda Rousey to be.
She's ugly. She's a lesbian.
She's proud.
She's proud. She's an ass kicker. Like,
no, dude, she is literally
it's Vince's wet dream in a female wrestler.
Like, what I was gonna say is she's got the whole MMA shtick.
Yeah.
While also being able to wrestle a professional wrestling match. Professional wrestling match. Shout out to Daffy, wherever you're at, man.
Never duck.
Oh,
talking like our old friend Daffy. If you know, you know, folks. I'm not talking about the duck.
Oh, fuck. He fucking hated that.
At first, he
still
hated
fucking does, dude. He still fucking hates it. Oh, that's funny.
Daffy. So, yeah. She's everything that Vince wanted Ronda Rousey to be. And maybe these fucking lesbians will do something. I don't know.
I hope so. I want it to work, man. I really want Lyra Valkyria to fucking start doing something, though.
Bro, I didn't even know that was her because she straightened her hair. I was like, what
she looked different.
Way different, dude.
I was like, who's this random ass chick that they're just bringing out?
She looked so fucking different on Monday. I was like, who
dude, that was
that?
weird.
And I was like, oh, that's Lyra. Woo!
Okay, so since we only got about 14 minutes until the hour mark, you know, I figure.
We got all the time in the world.
No, I meant till the hour mark, not until we had to get off here. You know, I figure we might as well dive into this because I want to ask both of you boys y'all's opinion because I know I got mine. But what's next for the Wyatt Six?
Oh man,
because I want to say at this point, and I hope for fucking American-made sake, the Wyatts have beaten them definitively.
Yeah.
I think every combination of them has beaten every combination of them. So I think we can move on.
Maybe after Bad Blood, the Judgment Day, they fuck with Judgment Day.
That would be awesome.
They fuck with Judgment Day until the draft. And then after the draft, they get moved to SmackDown and they start fucking with the Bloodline.
Woo!
Yeah. And they're taking the whole Wyatt Six.
That'd be a good route.
That's gonna hit.
Because you mentioned it earlier, Steve, and I like to think that that's a pretty legit deal. Because, like you said, the Pluto symbol actually showed up on SmackDown last week. I didn't know that until So
all this was talking about.
I think they start fucking with the Judgment Day first, and they're gonna fuck with the Judgment Day starting after Bad Blood, because I think after Bad Blood, we're washing our hands of this fucking Terror Twins versus the Judgment Day. I think we're just gonna.
So you're saying
Nope.
what you're saying is everyone is going to wash their hands of all this bad blood. But it makes sense, okay?
It does make sense. Fuck. If you're gonna do something with a pay-per-view and you're gonna call it that, you might as well fucking run with that shit.
No, and literally, okay, I think that you are onto something, because realistically, okay, let's get into all the bad blood we're getting into.
That's the story of literally every match that's on the card right now.
Yeah.
Punk and Drew, Hell in a Cell. That match has to be the fucking main event. It fucking has to.
Yeah, absolutely.
It
Luther
fucking
and
has
Sami
to.
Zayn. Bad blood. Terror Twins, Judgment Day. Bad blood.
Bad blood. Cody Roman versus Bloodline.
Bad blood.
On every aspect of it. That's the beauty of that match. Like, there's bad blood everywhere.
Yep.
I don't think we know it yet, but I think there's bad blood between Solo and Jacob as well. And I think we get to that. I think we get to that on Bad Blood. Nia versus whoever wins between Naomi and Bailey.
There's going to be some bad blood.
And then fucking
maybe Tiffy.
It's gonna be Tiffy time.
What time is it, Drew?
Tiffy time.
It's gonna be Tiffy time. That's gonna be fucking huge. Throw in all this fucking bad blood that's going on with Andrade and Carmelo. I think that one culminates at Bad Blood too.
Carmelo's just going to keep saying some foul shit.
He is. He's going to keep talking that Cash Money shit, and he's going to keep getting his ass whooped.
Mm-hmm.
Honestly, they need to give an award at the end of the year for
he deserves a Slammy. He deserves a Slammy for Player Hater of the Year.
Well, I don't know who's going to get that Slammy between him, Drew McIntyre, CM Punk.
Any of them.
Drew's up there, right?
Dude, that fucking feud right now has been cooking, and we haven't talked much about it. Like, we've mentioned it. Like, yeah, there's always something to talk about. That fucking feud is owning the WWE, and it is keeping them afloat right now.
Straight up, dude.
And that is like, and I'll be the first to admit it. Almost a year ago, when CM Punk showed up at fucking Survivor Series, I was the biggest shit talker about it because I was so upset. Chicago. I'm so pissed that they're going to fucking Vancouver. That's stupid.
Fucking idiot.
Anyways, that show should have been in Houston, but
dude, for real,
I'd have gone.
Hopefully next year.
Hopefully,
we will Texas go to a Survivor Series.
Texas needs a pay-per-view next year. It's been long enough. They typically do one a year or every other year at least, and it's now been. It'll be 2 years come January, so we're due for one in 25.
You just monkey pawed yourself, and now we're just getting AEW.
I'll go.
I'm still going AEW.
I'm going to All In. It's in fucking Dallas.
I'll fucking need a hot dog in that stadium
for $38.
In the words of the unmentionable, it's happening.
Oh, it's happening. Oh, yee. Anyways, what were we talking about?
We weren't talking about.
Oh, by the way, guys, I'm still the 24/7 champion.
True. I knew what you were thinking the whole time. You're sitting there fucking smiling as soon as I said unmentionable. We already did the Chris Benoit thing.
All right. I was just saying, it just like came to mind when I was like, I'm not even.
No, we're talking about Chris Benoit.
We're getting
he was
production right now.
He was talking about Chris Benoit.
No, our producer said something in the chat, in the private chat.
He needs to stop it, man. He's
not blind.
I'm legally blind.
I'm blind.
P.O.P. Hold it down.
Who there?
No, that's so funny.
Who there? Oh, man.
So, yeah, Natalya sucks. case
For
you
real.
missed that one, folks, in case you're just tuning in, this has been about 50 minutes of Natalia Sucks from the Step Brothers podcast.
Ooh. The seeds that Sammy planted with Ludwig on Monday, talking about how, Gunther's holding
Yeah.
you back, dude. Ooh,
Yep.
man. I'm here for that.
Yeah, and it's going to be interesting how they go about that because
It's going to be a slow burn, and I'm here for that.
it has to be. It has to be. But, like, I don't know. I think we kind of noticed at one point. There's one episode on Spotify I know where we're basically like the Ludwig Kaiser, like, fucking bandwagon. And they've got something there with that guy. For sure.
For sure.
But
Oh,
you have to
that for sure.
you have to do something big, kind of, I feel like, before you separate him from Gunther to truly capitalize on what you may have there, if that makes sense. Because I don't know, with Vinci, they're just getting fucking lucky because this is somehow really funny what they're doing with Vinci.
Right. And I think with Ludwig, it has to come down to, man, it has to almost be like championship implications. And I think it's probably a long ways down the line.
Here's my selling point. Here's what I think. So after Gunther loses the World Heavyweight Championship,
that's when you do it.
or maybe before Gunther wins the World Heavyweight Championship, what you do to set it up is at some point Ludwig wins the Intercontinental Championship. And they're both champions for a while, right?
Yeah.
And you have Gunther lose the World Championship. And then he gets fucking pissed off because he's not the one with the belt. And he turns on Kaiser.
Yeah. I mean, I don't hate it at all.
That's one way I could see it happening.
Be a good way. I like it. Like it a lot.
Because I think you've got to make Kaiser the good guy coming out of this. Like, to me, it would kind of be a story of like, what the fuck, man? I was loyal to you this whole time, and now you turn on me because I succeeded. Like, you jealous asshole. I don't know. That's how I kind of see it going. But
I could see it going that way, man. And I wouldn't be mad at it. Like, I don't think it would be a bad way to do it.
I just, because thinking about it, I'm not really sure. Because, okay, if you go the direct route based on, Sammy's promo on Monday, and, you start putting these thoughts in Ludwig's head and, blah, 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 you have him turn on Gunther, that only works, in my opinion, if you have Kaiser beat Gunther, which I don't think is realistic.
Mm-hmm.
At least not right now.
Yeah, not yet. At least.
I could see down the line. I mean, it would.
Guest. Sorry to interrupt. I apologize.
What's that?
I said here in a minute we're going to have another guest. My dad is going to join us.
Who's that?
My dad.
No way.
Yeah.
You going to talk to him about Little Debbie snacks?
Yeah.
Little Debbie snack.
He called me back.
I'm going to let you have the floor with that one.
My mom is still alive.
Okay, that's good. That's good. I was going to ask you about that. Did you call your grandma earlier?
Yeah, she was wearing Wranglers.
Yeah, mine too. American flag T-shirt.
I think mine was wearing a Come and Take It flag.
Okay.
Same thing.
Yeah, same thing.
Same thing.
They're both getting the same boss.
Yeah, they're getting the message to the people.
You gonna talk to your dad about those hot dog buns?
Yeah, the lack of them. Oh, he's here. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the floor, Mr. Brad Cotton.
Woo!
Your porch light is really fucking this up.
Hello.
There you go.
I'm sorry. I'm out at the Eagles Lodge right now. We've been playing darts. My wife's still playing, so.
Are you winning?
No, I'm done, but she's going to play for first place here in a minute.
There you go.
Hell yes.
There you go.
Hell yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, a little bit of intro. Brad's been watching wrestling since its heyday in the 80s. And we watched
Right.
WrestleMania.
I'm not-
What year was it? 2018. So that would have been what? 30,
34.
34 at Brad's house. That was the last single night WrestleMania. I remember that.
Yeah.
Yep. Fucking long as shit. We were there till like 2 in the morning. But yeah.
That was
Uh,
And I'm gonna. Hey, I want to go back to a couple of weeks ago when y'all guys were talking about your Rushmore.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's get your Rushmore, man.
Okay, my Rushmore, because I'm going old school. I'm gonna go old
Okay.
school on you guys.
I like it.
Bruno,
Ooh,
gonna put Bruno in there.
you have to.
I mean, you really have to.
We're gonna go with the Von Erich family. The Von Erichs, the Freebirds, and Ric Flair.
Ooh.
Solid.
That-
Very solid.
that-
Very solid.
Because
That
if
is
it
a
wasn't
very
for those
solid-
guys, if it wasn't for those guys, the tag team divisions at any promotion wouldn't be what they are.
Absolutely, yeah.
Right on.
I agree with that. And I would like to add a
100%.
little argument to it, since you're throwing Ric Flair in there. If you're throwing Ric Flair in there, in my opinion, you honestly have to consider Harley Race.
You do have to consider Harley Race. Harley Race was one of the original badasses.
Yeah.
In my opinion, he's the original badass. He's
Because
the original
Harley Race,
heel.
Harley Race came up from nothing, and he was. If you fucked with him in the ring, you got fucking hurt.
Yep.
Yeah.
He
Agreed.
would hurt you. He would just literally hurt you because he was Harley Race was dickhead, and
He
and
could
he didn't
fucking do that
shit.
though. Like he was one
Yeah.
of the strongest
he was the
wrestlers,
legit-
especially of that era.
Yeah, he was a legit
Yeah.
tough motherfucker.
Yes, he was. He was one of the original tough guys in the business,
Yep.
Absolutely.
100%.
and
Absolutely.
and I'm not taking shit away from him, but just
No.
but from
But I understand.
what
I
Ric
like
Flair
your
did
Rushmore.
with it.
No, that's a good one, and I like the shout to Bruno because I think a lot of people don't go far back enough to remember like that before Hulk Hogan.
Yeah.
Before
And
everything.
I never saw Bruno wrestle, but he was the champ. He had the belt in WWE before it was WWE.
Yep.
For
Before it was WWF,
how many years?
it was shit.
It was
8 years?
WWF.
Yeah. Yep.
He still
Well-
owns the longest title reign
Ever.
Yeah,
ever.
what, 6 years
before
or
the
something like
I
that.
think, I,
WrestleMania
think,
era.
I think it's almost 8 years.
I think it is
Yeah.
almost 8 years. I think it's
Yeah.
like 7 years and 9 months or
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. So I
And no,
always
if
put
you-
him on my top.
Yeah, and no, if you go
And I
back,
respect that.
because
you
if
could-
you go back and watch footage of Bruno, man, from back in the day, it's really crazy. Watching it through that lens because it is so old. It's a different world, professional wrestling.
Yeah.
was. But to see the way that he worked up the audience, you know what I mean? He was such a big deal to pro wrestling back then.
Yeah.
And he really was the first true megastar of professional wrestling, like before Hulk Hogan, before Stone
Yeah.
Cold. Like he really was like the pioneer.
And I'll throw you another megastar that doesn't get enough attention is Antonio Inoki.
That's true. Yeah.
Agreed.
Yeah.
And another one I think that deserves, honorable mention for Mount Rushmore, just because of what he did for the business, is Andre the Giant.
Oh, absolutely.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Like
Yes.
no one ever puts him on their Rushmore, and understandably so. However, Andre did so much for the industry,
Yes.
proving so many people wrong that a man that size can move that way and do those things. And
Yeah.
I think
really set the
and
stage for
until
the
he
guys
could-
like Braun
Yeah.
Strowman and fucking Brock Lesnar, and
Yeah.
the Big Show and Mark Henry and who was Luke Gallows is another one.
Yeah.
Like all those.
You know, another
You
one
know?
I'm impressed with right now is Bronson Reed.
Oh,
my God.
insane.
Dude,
Oh,
A
yeah.
guy that size
I
shouldn't
will
be able to do that kind of shit.
Fuck no. There's
It's
no
insane.
reason why that big motherfucker is jumping off the top rope and not pulling a hamstring every time.
Tsunamis, baby.
Yeah.
Dude.
Yeah. And
No,
then you're going to talk
well-
about tsunamis. You're getting into tugboat and those guys, you know. But anyway,
yeah, and he
Absolutely.
and he does that role really well. Whereas I feel like, you know, you've got a lot of imitators of those particular kinds of big men.
Yeah.
And I feel like it's never really gone over super well. But you know, Bronson Reed, he's really like, I don't know, ever since they've let him unleash himself on everyone, like he's
Yeah.
His first 6 months on the main roster were pretty lackluster, but these
Yeah.
last 2 months have
and,
been.
and I'm
God
liking the
damn.
story with him and Braun Strowman. I'm really
Yeah.
liking this because
Oh man.
it's Bad Blood. It's you know what? I'm sick of WWE not having blood in their matches
Amen.
because
brother.
that's bullshit. That's
fucking
that's
man.
Vince. That's Vince. And I just watched Raw tonight from Monday night.
Well,
And Punk,
Can I interrupt
that
for a
Punk
second?
and McIntyre match is going to be a good one.
Oh yeah.
It's going to
No,
be a
I'd like
good one.
to interject a little bit. Yes, it was Vince, but even with Vince having been gone for the time that he has been gone, we still really weren't getting a lot of blood until the last 6 months when that producer, and I can't remember his name, until that producer was outed. And it was literally the next week,
Kevin Dunn.
Kevin Dunn, we started getting bloody matches.
Kevin
and
fucking
they-
done.
Like, fuck. It was immediate. It was immediate.
Mhm.
And Bad Blood, I have a very
I mean-
strong feeling that every fucking match is going to be bloody, and I am looking
Blood
forward to it.
belongs in wrestling. It
Amen.
belongs there. It
Absolutely.
belongs.
Ric Flair would
If
not
you're
be
having
Ric
a
Flair
cage
without
match and there's not
running
blood,
around
I'm
with
calling
fucking
bullshit.
red hair. Yes.
Exactly.
Yes, Ric Flair with the red hair.
Ric
Yeah,
Flair would
if
not
you-
be
if you've
Ric
got a
Flair
cage
without
match and
running
there's
around
no
with
blood,
bloodied
it's
up
bullshit.
hair. Yes. Amen.
Because if I scrape
that
your
is-
head across a fucking steel cage, you're going to bleed.
Hell yeah.
Fucking
Yeah, hell yeah.
Preach.
You're going to get
Bro.
juiced. That's just the way it is.
A fucking man. God damn it. I needed that.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah, man. That was very well said. Very,
I
very
agree.
true.
I
And
agree
that
completely.
that is one angle I will give AEW some credit for now. They
Yeah.
do it, they overdo it. That's
Oh,
the
yeah.
problem. That's
You
the
want,
problem.
you want me to get me on my soapbox about AEW?
Man, fucking send it, bro. I'll
Okay,
talk shit
okay.
about them too.
Like
got
fun.
these
Here we
guys.
go.
You've got these guys that came from WWE that were badass and they were doing promos that were badass, and they get to WWE and they can't talk on the goddamn mic and the camera. Their promos fucking suck.
Yep.
It's corny. It just
It's
sounds
bad.
corny.
And
You know,
see, what
make
I-
me believe it. Make
and
me
what I
believe
think is, and you know, there's exceptions to the rule. Like I think Cody's one of these guys, but I think AEW gives a lot of these people too much freedom that don't know what the fuck they're doing, and so they go out there and they're like, "Oh yeah, I'm gonna cut a promo about this. I'm gonna talk about that," and they don't know what the fuck they're gonna say, and it sounds fucking stupid.
Yeah.
And in
And,
WWE,
well-
you know, you got somebody being like, "No, motherfucker, you're not gonna say that. That sounds stupid. Like you're gonna say this."
Yeah, yeah, exactly. You know, Tony Khan. God. Hey, Dad, give me some money. I want to go into wrestling. You know, that's what it is.
God
Give me money.
damn.
Give me some money.
That is literally what I say every time I start talking shit about Tony Khan. He's a fucking spoiled rich kid with a magnifying glass.
He is.
He can fucking do whatever the fuck he wants. You know?
And him being head of creative is stupid. He needs somebody
It
in
is
there that knows
stupid.
what the fuck
Extremely
they're doing.
Fucking preach
I-
that shit, man. Fuck.
You know,
He's got some of the best minds of wrestling under his employment.
And he
He
doesn't let
does.
him do anything creatively.
Yeah,
It's
he
just,
could.
oh, we should do this. Let's put on this fucking 5-star match for no fucking reason.
Yeah,
Let's put on this mediocre television show for the next month and a half. We're gonna have a badass pay-per-view that had zero fucking legitimate build except for the
They-
last week
and 12 6-star matches.
and 12 6-star matches.
You talking
Why?
about Tony?
Because we
Total.
fucking can,
total in the last
You
year.
talking about Big T? Big money?
bro. Fuck Tony Khan. He's a bitch.
And yeah, yeah, they don't know how to tell a story. The only story they have right now is Paige and Swerve. That's the only one.
And they're doing a
you
damn
know
good
what?
job with that
I
story.
got that story from watching AEW one time in the last 3 months.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and that's the one good thing that they've been doing. And
They can't tell the story. He needs fucking writers and he needs people. As much as I hate to say it, he needs Russo. Because Russo can
think-
write a story.
I think if Vince Russo went to AEW, as much as I just legitimately despise Vince Russo, I fucking hate that man.
they
I
could
think
come
if
up
he
with
went to
something.
AEW, they could probably put WWE out of business if I'm being real. Like,
They
I
could
really
make-
believe that's a
Make
thing.
it competitive anyway.
Fuck, it would be so
Russo's
good
a hell
because
of a writer and he's a dumbass.
he's a fucking idiot. I hate him. I
You
fucking
know,
hate him.
and
I
you
wouldn't
want me
even
to
be
give you
happy
another
if
good one?
fucking
But you know what?
And
You put him and Tony
Jim
Khan in the
Cornette-
same room.
Oh my god.
They're both so fucking. They might come up with something good. The two of
Exactly.
them.
Maybe.
Two
Real.
fucking
Maybe.
egos
They
the
might.
size of like 58% of the United States. You could probably put something really fucking.
They're
good
gonna get
together.
through enough cocaine.
You know, you
They
give
might come up
1,000
with
monkeys a
one good idea.
typewriter, they can write Shakespeare.
That's right. I think Jim Cornette would be a badass move
Uh-huh.
to go to
I
AEW.
was just going to
man.
say that because,
Bro,
I-
corny.
you know, I'm a Cornette
there's
fan, dude.
there's no
I-
one in this chat that is not a Cornette fan. I
That's
fucking
true.
love Jim Cornette, dude.
His fucking podcast, I'll listen to that
God,
shit.
dude.
To listen to Jim Cornette talk shit.
Dude,
it's
he
so
talks so
goddamn
much
funny.
shit.
I don't think Jim
He's so
Cornette
fucking
likes
funny.
wrestling.
I don't
Oh.
think he does
Motherfucker is
either,
not
man.
I'm
said
on
it good.
Mike's podcast.
I love
love
corny,
it.
man.
So much.
My juice.
But man, like,
It's in the. Say hello, Ellen.
hi Ellen.
It's in that little side pocket. It's the
Which flavor?
it's the purple one, the punchberry.
I'm gonna buy your shot.
Oh, well, I can take a shot.
I don't know.
But
I know.
like,
Anyway,
I want AEW to do something so much better with their storytelling, man. Like they have such great potential. They've got some of the best wrestlers in the world. Like
Literally.
they've got to get storytelling.
Ospreay, MJF, fucking Moxley, and
Moxley.
and
The plumber.
Hangman, and
Just Jim
fucking
Cornette
Swerve.
called him the plumber.
Yeah, dude, for real. Goddamn. Like those guys right there, you could tell a beautiful story that has amazing matches and sells tickets because we all know they're not making money right now. Like, yeah, they made money on
Yeah.
All In. They made money on All Out. They're going to make money on Grand Slam in New York in a couple of weeks. But they're not making money on Wednesday. Hi, babe. What are you doing?
Hi.
Yeah, Steve,
Yeah.
Drew, Brad. So, like, they're making so much money on these pay-per-views, but yeah, they're playing catch up with that
That's where
money
their
because they're
funding is
paying
coming
their
from,
bills.
because they're not making it at the box office on
Exactly. On Wednesdays
Not at all.
and Saturdays and
because they're
Fridays,
not
they're not
filling
making any
arenas.
money.
They're not.
There's like 18 people in a fucking arena
Yeah,
paying these dudes like
$30 million.
a collective of over $1 billion. They're only making money once every 2 to 3 months at a fucking pay-per-view. And
Yeah.
the only reason people go to the pay-per-views is because they know there's going to be about 7 to 12 5-star matches. No
Yep.
story. They're just going to be good matches. That's it. There's nothing else to it. There's no substance. There's no story.
There's no story. That's
long-lasting
the thing.
effects. You got to
Yeah,
have
You got to tell a
long-lasting
fucking
effects.
story. That's the thing. You
gotta-
got to tell a story.
Well, here's the thing. You have to tell 2 stories. You have to tell a story
Sorry,
on
I'm
paper.
moving.
No, you're fine. You have to tell a story on paper, but you also have to tell a story in the fucking ring.
Yeah.
And those guys aren't telling stories in the ring. They're just fucking big move after big move after big move, and then a fucking 30-second lull back into a big move, and then it ends, and it's a fucking plot twist, but there's no plot.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like
And then they,
that's what
Dude, I
fucking
could write that
throws
shit.
me
I'm a
off.
dumbass.
Exactly. I'm a fucking retard, and I could fucking tell that story on fucking
Yeah.
color by number. Like it's
Yeah.
predictable. It's
You know, in
it's just-
TNA, I can't even talk about TNA because I don't watch it.
oh, God, dude, it's bad.
Well, there's one thing
They're
I will
doing
say
good.
about TNA.
They're doing good, but watching their product every week it's hard.
There's sometimes you'll watch TNA and you'll be like,
Never hear
I'll be
that.
goddamn, TNA's got something going on. And then the next week you try to tune in again and you're like, holy shit.
Yeah, dude, like
Did you get it
seriously,
already?
I watched one week, I don't know what happened, but it was okay. And then I tuned in the next week and it was fucking Matt Hardy and a couple other people in a tornado tag team match, and it was fucking ass.
Hey,
I was like,
I'm gonna
no one
step
wants
away
to
for
watch
just a
this.
minute because I got to go get a shot. So I'll be right back.
Okay,
And I can't bring it outside. So.
you're good. I'll turn you
I'll
off
be
for a little bit.
Oh man, you might have to turn me off too. I'm sitting here yawning, getting real sleepy.
Nah, bitch, wake up, motherfucker. What time you got to work tomorrow?
I gotta work at 10.
10.
Nah, you got time. Motherfucker, 10.
Sounds like start a game of Fortnite in there.
You got 11 hours, bud. You ain't getting off of here till midnight.
I don't know about that.
We ain't gonna be here much longer.
I don't know
But
why
guys,
I'm tired. Wrestling didn't take a lot out of me. I felt like I was tired after WrestleMania, but that was justified, you know.
god damn, dude, that was 3 days of fucking lots of shit. I
Yeah,
was ready
it
to go to bed after night 2 of Mania. Here we go, he's back.
I was
And
ready.
now we're back. That was a
We're
quick
back.
shot.
So my watch says too.
Ooh,
Mm.
same.
No, but back to WWE. I'm liking the storyline with Rhea and Damien. Those
Yeah.
are two of my favorites. Those are
They're
two of my
good, man.
favorites.
They're really good,
But
dude.
Rhea,
Like, it's
if you watch her past stuff, she is so fucking good, and she's fucking hot on top of it. But she is so good. And Damien, I've always liked Damien Priest.
Yeah.
you
But
know,
the shit
Damien's
they're
really
doing-
come into his character. When he was in NXT,
Yeah.
it was kind of questionable. He was good, and I'm not saying he was bad at all. Like, I did like Damien Priest in NXT, but he has really filled his own shoes and developed a lot since he's been
Yeah.
on the main roster, especially in the last 2 years since the Judgment Day was formed with Edge.
Yeah.
And
I'm
crazy.
really liking this storyline with them. And I think at Bad Blood, there's going to be something happen that Jay, is it Jay Uso?
Yeah.
Jay's going to come in, and don't be surprised if Jimmy doesn't show up to help.
Oh, absolutely. I wouldn't be surprised. So, like, I'm on the fence on a couple of different areas, and me and Steve talked about this early on.
It's a good
And
take.
Drew and I have talked about it. I think it's a great take.
I think so too.
I'm not opposed to Jimmy showing up and Jay winning because Jimmy showed up. At the same time, I would rather Jimmy show up after the match. You know what I mean? I think
Yeah.
Jimmy definitely
Yeah.
shows up at Bad Blood. I think the Wise Man comes back at Bad Blood. And I think we plant the seeds for Survivor Series, which we talked about earlier on.
You're going to see a new bloodline come in.
Yeah.
So here's our
You're
prediction.
definitely going
Or
to see
my
a new
prediction.
bloodline. Because
So I
there's
think
one
it's
in-
going to be the
there's
old
another
versus the new
affiliate
at
out
Survivor
there.
Series.
There's
that-
another one in that clan that is out there that
He's already
and the,
he's
and
already
what-
signed Talatonga.
yeah. And what's the guy's name with that he never fucking wrestles? He's like the muscle, but he never wrestles.
Tongaloa.
Yeah.
That son of
He's
a
an idiot.
Tongaloa.
Maybe
With the
maybe
iPads.
look
They
for a
used to have
switch there.
iPads.
Maybe look for a switch.
I think there's literally anything you can think of as far as the bloodline goes. I think any and all of it is on the table for a possibility at Bad Blood.
Mhm.
I don't think there's a bad prediction. Obviously, there are some that are incorrect, and I'm willing to be in the incorrect line because whatever they do is going to be good.
I don't see Roman turning on Cody. I
don't
could be
either.
wrong,
It should happen.
but it's going to set it up for a rematch. But they're
Yeah.
not going to. He's not
It
going to
should
drop the belt back to Roman. He's not.
No.
So there's one
I think
aspect of
that
this
won't
that
matter.
I don't think anybody is
going to be
thinking.
important. I think if he
I
drops
agree
the
with
belt to
that,
anybody,
too.
it'll be Orton for one final run for Orton.
I think Randy's got at least
That's
2,
my opinion.
maybe 3 more title reigns just to give him the record.
Yeah.
But there's one aspect of all of this that literally none of us have talked about at all. The Rock is free right now.
Yeah.
And right now is about the time that they could start building for Mania.
Around Survivor Series.
That
Yeah.
could play into night 1 of Mania, Rock and Roman. Winner gets Cody night 2.
Yeah. That's fair.
And I think The Rock goes over on Roman and Cody goes over on The Rock.
And then we're in the Netflix era too to top that off.
And man, we're in the Netflix era, so there's going to be no censorship. And The Rock, I guarantee you, The Rock is on that very first episode on Netflix, and there's going to be.
And he gets to do
Yeah,
whatever the
oh,
fuck he
oh, yeah.
wants.
I can't wait.
He's
I can't
gonna
wait
say
for
the fuck
Netflix when it's
And then
fucking,
Cena.
God. I can't wait
unedited,
for Seth
you know.
to walk out. Seth fucking Rollins.
Yep.
Yes. Yeah.
I mean, there's literally so many things that can happen in 2 weeks at Bad Blood. Like you can't pick. You can't, because as far as the bloodline goes, there are probably 8 different storylines that are all meshed together to make one badass one, and it's going to headline WrestleMania for like the 6th year in a row.
No shit. Crazy.
And
fucking
as
nuts.
far as the women's division, you know,
Nuts.
you got your tag champs right now. Jade is as good as Jade is. She's not that good.
God damn it!
Exactly.
I'm so sick of
Jade-
this Jade Bianca
Jade-
shit.
Her timing is so off. She needs a lot of work. They should have brought her into NXT, and
I agree.
They
And,
should have never just
and
kept her on the
worked her.
sidelines for as long as they did.
they
She
should
should
have
have went
worked
to
her in
NXT for at least a year.
Because what's she do in AEW? She wrestled once every couple of months.
And they were
When
all
they have
just,
pay-per-views.
they were all just squash matches.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
I'll be right back.
Yeah. Jade gets a draw because of her looks. And she does have the ability, but she's got to get it refined.
Yeah, she just
I
needs
mean,
polishing.
it's because everybody is covering for her in the matches, and it's obvious.
Oh
It's
yeah.
really
Yeah.
obvious. when
Yeah,
she's
that's
in
why
the
they put
ring.
her with Bianca. So they
She's
hope
had some
Bianca
good,
like
had some
put her up
good
there.
moments
Yeah,
that have
she
shown
should
that
have been
she's
put in
improving.
NXT to start with.
But yeah, 100%.
And and I like Jade. I don't get me wrong, I like Jade, but she needs work. She's got to get some work done.
Word.
Yeah, I agree.
She does have the ability, but she needs coaching. They should have let Shawn Michaels take care of
Mhm.
her in NXT, because
I
look what he's
wonder-
done with the rest of them.
I wonder if they just thought that it would just come quicker for her than it has. I don't know.
Probably natural or
But
something.
I think that's why
not,
they keep going back to this Bianca Belair shit. And then,
Yeah.
like, the thing is like, I think Jade has come far enough that the rest of her learning will come with experience. And I think she's okay being on the main roster now. But the tag team division is not where she belongs.
No.
Like,
Right?
they
Bianca
No.
didn't learn like
they
that.
need to lose
know?
the titles, and
No.
that's not where Bianca belongs either. Like, Bianca is one of the best female wrestlers in WWE.
Oh my God, she's so good. She is so
She's
good.
so good. She's so good. So what I want and what we've been talking about for the last 6 months, it seems like, since they lost the tag titles the first time, when is Jade gonna turn on Bianca or vice versa? And I think Bianca needs to be the heel in that situation, honest to God, because she's been in so long and she's never been a heel. It would be so good for her to be a heel.
Hopefully, have bad blood.
Man,
But I doubt they have a
Well,
match.
how-
There's already
how-
10.
How long can Bianca carry Jade, because she doesn't have the experience?
Amen. Like, and I
With
think that,
Like
like,
I say, she should have been in NXT for a few months.
At least a year,
and
man. Honest to God, at least
Yeah.
a year. Give her a women's championship run, and then
Mhm.
bring her up in the draft next year. Like
Yep.
she should have been in NXT first, and she should have been there for
Yeah.
at minimum 1
Yeah.
year, because they had her on the sidelines for almost 8 months, and they
Yeah, they
still
built
didn't
her
get
up
it
so
right.
much, and then she's not
She's just not there.
yeah, she's not there. She needs work. She's
Like-
got the potential, but she needs fucking work.
Honest to God, if you match her up with Lash Legend on NXT,
Yeah,
you've got a story. Like, and it would be so good.
I agree.
Okay.
There's a lot
So
to be
anyway,
said about
what
that.
else we got to talk about?
Pick a topic, dude. I don't give a fuck.
Who else? I'm tired of these fucking bullshit matches with Cody Rhodes, Kevin Owens.
Man, that's the
And-
problem though, is they don't have anybody for it.
Oh, there you are.
He beat everybody on his way to Rome.
All right, bud.
See you in the morning.
See you tomorrow.
Shake my head. I will see you in the morning then.
All right, bud.
You say tonight.
All right.
Like, that's the problem, is like he beat everybody on his way to Rome. So who do you put him in a feud
Brother.
with?
Little wrestling podcast.
We'll
I mean-
catch you in the morning, man.
We'll see you later.
All right, y'all be careful.
Okay.
I think realistically, you started planting seeds tonight for
I mean, you really did start
something a
planting
lot more
seeds tonight.
interesting going forward with Cody.
Yeah,
but
at the
post
same time,
WrestleMania,
There's
It's a
really
match
not
that's already
a
been
legit opponent for Cody right now,
there's not.
yeah, there's
unless
nobody.
you put Gunther in there.
But at that point, you have to wait till the draft, and Gunther has to
Yeah,
lose his
you
title.
better- yeah, he does. And who's
Like-
he going to drop the title to?
The only thing,
He's not going to drop it to Sammy.
No,
yeah, no, not at all. There's no one Gunther can beat either, and they've got this problem on both shows with both belts.
yep.
At what
do they-
point did they
who do they
unify?
fight? I never, fucking never do that shit again.
2 years, 3 years,
Never do it again. You
10
don't.
years.
What with Gunther's Intercontinental? Is that what you're talking about?
No, he said, when do you unify the two belts that we currently have?
Oh, never.
You don't.
And in my
You
opinion,
don't.
never. You don't. We've done that once, and it was a fucking atrocity.
Oh, we've done it more
Yeah,
than once.
because that's
Oh,
why
Well,
they put it in
well,
the second
okay.
belt.
We've done it once in the modern era, and it was fucking terrible. We had a part-time champion that never got beat because he always cheated. And
Yeah.
I don't want it again. I don't fucking
Yeah.
want it again. No one wants it
And,
again.
and that's why he doesn't need the belt anymore, because he only
Exactly.
wrestled in pay-per-views.
Yeah, I
You
mean,
know,
I
And
feel
it
like
wasn't
that,
even every
Going to
pay-per-view. It
work,
was like every third one.
Be on Raw or SmackDown, whatever, and defend it.
yeah.
But right
Yeah.
now, Cody does not have a legitimate opponent for the belt,
No. Not
and the
until
only
the Randy
legit
feud.
opponent is going to be Gunther.
And we're back to the same question.
But yeah, but you're not going to unify
Who
the
beats
belt. You're not
Gunther?
going to do that.
I don't
Yeah.
want to unify the belts, but who beats Gunther? Who beats Gunther to free him up to go fight for Cody's belt?
And then who beats Cody?
I don't think we're going to know that answer for a while.
I don't
Yeah.
either.
No, we're not.
I'm saying we get
We're not.
that 3 to 4 years from now.
Shit.
I
We're
don't know,
about,
man.
to, we're about
Like,
to build off of him.
Cody's not going to be champ that long. Like, I think Cody loses it
Oh, yeah.
around
for sure.
SummerSlam next year. And
Maybe by the end of the year.
like, I mean, could be,
So,
but
do
I
you
think,
think Cody's going to lose the belt to Roman or The Rock or who?
no, neither.
No, I don't think it's going to be.
I don't think it's either one of those.
No, I don't think.
I
don't
think he loses it to Drew. I think Drew gets drafted to SmackDown next year.
I could see
I
that.
think CM Punk is taking Gunther's belt at Mania.
Okay.
I can see that.
That's a good one, and then we can continue the Punk and McIntyre bullshit.
See, now
I
in order
don't
to
know.
do that, you have to go back to my favorite style of Survivor Series, where it's Raw versus SmackDown.
Yeah,
But it has to be done well.
Yeah.
but I think it's possible.
No.
I'm a firm believer that Punk is winning a title at Mania as long as he stays healthy. I personally think it was in the plans for this year, and it got fucked up because Punk tore his tricep.
Same.
Yeah. And Punk is going to get the IC or the US.
No,
He's
Punk-
not going to beat
Punk's-
Cody. He's not going to take Cody's belt.
no, he's going to take Gunther's belt, is what I'm saying,
You think?
at Mania.
I could see
So,
it.
so after Mania, you have the draft.
Yeah.
So Punk wins at Mania, takes Gunther's belt. Drew gets drafted to SmackDown in the draft and takes Cody's belt at SummerSlam. And I think that's how you give them both what they want.
Yeah.
And they deserve.
Yeah. I like it.
Yeah.
I think it's a good way to go. I don't know. I could see
And
it
then,
happen.
they're going to put the belt back on Rhea because I think the knee injury
Oh, yeah.
is
That's a shoot.
it's a shoot. I think they're going to put the belt back on her because she's such a good champion.
Yeah.
She
Yeah.
is so good.
I
That's
just don't know how
another problem.
back on her.
That's another problem. Who beats
Because Liv
Rhea?
is not
Because
that great. Liv ain't that great.
Liv is a great wrestler.
She's just having a good
got
run
good.
right now.
She's having a really good run. She's got great character work, but she's not a good champion.
Yeah.
She's
No.
really not.
Just
It's
a great
just not
act.
realistic that she beats Rhea.
Yeah. It's
Good
just
act.
like
Good work.
it's just like her beating, or was it her that beat? Who was it that? God damn it, I can't remember. That beat Nia to get the belt.
Hmm.
Was it
Well,
Nia?
Yeah.
Was it Becky
Damn.
Lynch?
No. Who did beat Nia when Nia was
Oh,
the
it
champion?
was
the
Alexa
last time?
Bliss. Was
Yeah,
that's
Alexa.
who it
Yeah,
was.
that's right. That's right.
Yeah.
That is not realistic to me.
No, it's not.
No,
The
but I
only
think they're telling
way-
better stories than that now.
Yeah, they
was
definitely.
during
are.
a really-
and it's because Vince isn't in charge, man. That dude screwed up a lot of things.
To say the least.
Caused a lot of problems.
No, that ain't no shit.
Well, boys, I think
Let's
I've
shake
had
up
it for
the tag
tonight.
team division. Let's shake up the tag team division and let's go
Okay.
old school. If you can put somebody back in there, I've got my number one. The Road Warriors.
I mean, they're the best tag team to ever walk the planet.
I'm going a little newer than that. Still kind of old school.
I know where you're going. You're going a little 3D.
Get the tables.
Get the
Oh
thing.
yeah, the Dudleys. Yeah.
That's my personal pick. That's my favorite tag team of all time, the Dudley Boys.
They're right there for me too. man.
ECW, you know. Old
I like the Dudleys. I mean, I like the violence that they did
Yeah.
and how they were willing to sacrifice and everything.
They were
But my
great,
all-time
man.
favorite tag team is the Road Warriors.
Oh yeah,
And like I said, they're the best to ever walk the earth.
truly.
What
Rush.
My favorite
Yeah,
tag
Drew.
The Outlaw. Badass Billy and Badass Billy Gunn and fucking Road Dogg.
No doubt.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, that's
No.
that's another good one.
The New Age
Yeah.
Outlaws. I was like drawing a
New
blank.
Age Outlaws.
I was like, what the fuck did they call themselves before they were with DX?
Man, it's hard for me to pick one.
Oh shit, I can't remember. But their
I would
intro
go-
was badass too. Oh, you didn't know?
Your ass
Your
gotta
ass better
call somebody.
Yeah.
Man, I would probably go with like APA.
APA, that's a good one. That's a good one. They were very entertaining, dude.
They were fucking funny. And like, if I would go a little bit newer, I would probably pick the Hardys. Honestly,
Yeah.
Hardy's,
in
Hardy's
their
a good
prime,
choice.
like early 2000s
Yes.
Hardys.
Yeah.
Like the
Yeah.
same time that the Dudleys And if I was going to throw in a wild card, it would be Christian and Edge.
Shit. Yeah.
That's the all good teams. All good teams.
Yeah, those are like the big four of the Attitude Era, the APA,
Yeah.
the Dudleys, the Hardys, Edge and Christian.
Yeah. That could technically be your Rushmore of
That
tag
could be
team.
your tag team Rushmore, yeah, for sure. Absolutely.
Okay, let me throw this one out there. Female wrestlers, Rushmore.
Hmm.
Mm.
All right, we're going to do this one. We're going to wrap it up, and we're going to go to bed.
So
You've got to go to work.
let me
in the
just say that one is a tricky one for me because unlike with men's wrestling and tag team wrestling, I feel like the better women's wrestling is the more modern stuff versus the older stuff, because I feel like the further you go back, the less serious women's wrestling is taken. So if I'm going with like a number one
That's
woman
true.
wrestler, man, my first favorite woman's wrestler would have had to have been Lita. But if I'm picking the best one, I'm going to go with Becky Lynch.
I'm going to go old school, and I'm going to go with Wendy Richter.
See, she's one of the few that you go back far enough, and she was incredibly talented. And she got fucked
Wendy
over
Richter,
by Fabulous Moolah.
Luna. I'm not including Moolah, but it's just because the way she treated everybody.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, Wendy Richter got fucked over because of Fabulous Moolah.
Yeah, I'm going to go with Wendy Richter, Charlotte.
Yep.
I would have to say
Absolutely.
Bianca. She's up there.
Yeah.
And Lita. Well, no. Well, let me take that back. Let me take Bianca. I'm going to put Rhea on there because she's still good.
Yeah. I'd put Rhea over Bianca as well, but like they're the two that are like leading us into the current era. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And Charlotte,
What's up, Kenny,
Charlotte
man?
couldn't help but be couldn't help but be good.
Charlotte is understated because of who her dad is, but like she's so good.
Yes.
She's the best. She is, in my personal opinion, she is the best female wrestler of all time. No holds barred.
Honorable mention, I'm going to give it to Natalia because she is such a worker. She is such a worker.
You're losing brownie
And
points
she's
right
not
now.
afraid to put people over.
I agree. She's not afraid to put people over. She truthfully is one of the best of all time. She really is. I fucking can't stand her. But if I was going to pick a four, I'm going to go two of the four horsewomen. I'm going Charlotte and Becky. Rhea is definitely on that list for me. A lot of people like to give a lot of credit to Trish Stratus, and I personally believe that all she did for wrestling
Was
show
have
her
big
tits.
tits and be hot.
She was better than most of the women of her era. That's what it was, in my opinion.
China doesn't mention, but like he doesn't.
Not a good wrestler.
You know who I forgot? And she's not really needs to be on the Rushmore, but China. She did a lot for that
That was
division.
amazing.
I mean, the first women's Intercontinental Champion,
Yeah.
Yeah, dude.
or the first, female Intercontinental Champion.
I think Christian's a big fan of China.
Yeah.
Hey, dude, I got the fucking Playboy with her in it, still in the plastic.
Hell yes. That's awesome.
That's awesome.
Yes.
Oh, that's fucking awesome.
I can see why it's still in the plastic.
It's because that's easier to wipe off.
I like it.
That's disgusting.
Someone boot this old bastard.
Oh,
Fucking
shit.
dirty old man.
I like it.
Yeah. I'm old, ain't dead. Oh, shit. Good stuff.
Fourth one for my Mount Rushmore, man. Does it have to be WWE?
No.
Nope, it does not.
I mean, I guess she technically was WWE for a brief stint. She got inducted into the Hall of Fame this year. That Japanese chick.
Oh yeah, I know who you're talking about.
I can't remember her name.
Fucking
Now that I'm
name.
thinking of it.
About Bull.
Bull
Yeah,
Nakano.
Bull Nakano. Bull
Yeah.
Nakano.
She was bad.
Yeah,
Legitimate.
Lita is
Legitimate.
definitely honorable mention. She's my Attitude Era pick. That's for
Yeah.
sure. Bianca is definitely up there. I think with some work, I think it's arguable that Jade makes a comeback to the Hall of Fame or to the Mount
She
Rushmore
could.
of female wrestling.
Potential's
She has
there.
every bit of potential. Yeah.
Yeah, Jade's got a lot of potential. She needs some work.
She
Yeah.
does, and we've been saying that since day one, and I think everybody has, and no one's willing to really talk about it.
Even
Because
in
she has
AEW,
come a long
she
way.
needed some work
In
because
AEW,
she
she
didn't
never
get
did shit,
legitimate
though.
matches. She had no legitimate workers to help her in AEW.
Agreed.
Exactly.
You know, put her in there. Put her with Natalya. Natalya will teach her.
I mean, yes and no. So here's my problem with Natty. Is yes, Natty is a worker. Yes, Natty is a veteran. Yes, Natty is one of the last students of the Heart Dungeon. At the same time, Natty is not a good wrestler. And that's my personal opinion. I don't think Natty deserves to be in a lot of conversations that she's in. And I think WWE should have let her walk because I think Natalya has a really big head. I think Natalya is a little self-centered. I don't know this woman. I could be completely wrong. I don't think Natty deserves. Kenny, you are fucking right, dude. Sable.
Sable.
Rare.
You know what? My opinion on Sable, she was there for eye candy.
I mean, all those women around that time were.
Yeah.
Like, that's the problem. Is 99% of the women that were wrestling in that generation, in that era, they were just there for eye candy. I mean, Tori Wilson, a fucking pro wrestler for some reason. And all she was a Playboy Playgirl, and all she ever did was bra and panty matches.
Yeah. Stacy
Why are
Keibler.
you putting these whores in the Hall of Fame? That's what I think.
Stacy Keibler.
I hate that motherfucker. She didn't do shit for women's wrestling.
They were there. They were there to get
they were there for notoriety.
The viewers in a certain age group.
Yep.
The 20, the teens and 20-somethings. That's what they were there for.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Amen.
But as far as I wouldn't put Natalya in the ring with Jade, but I would put Natalya.
I think she'd be a good mentor.
Coaching,
like, have her go to the
working her.
Yep. I don't think that's a bad idea because I think Natalya does have a lot of knowledge to give, and she probably could be a good teacher.
Yeah, she's got a lot of fucking knowledge. Look where she came from.
I mean, she's
got a ton of knowledge.
She's Stu Hart's granddaughter. Like, there's something to be said about that. Like, the students of Hart Dungeon are some of the best. I mean, the best there ever was, the best there will be, came from there.
I mean, you got? What I think Chris Benoit was there. Dean Malenko. Dean Malenko is one of the most underrated guys.
Absolutely.
Chris Benoit was good, and notwithstanding what happened,
Chris
Benoit was a badass.
Twice. Chris Benoit is one of the best wrestlers to ever grace a ring, and I don't care what the circumstances of what happened are.
Yes.
I'm forever a fan of Chris Benoit, the wrestler. Forever a child of mental abuse of what happened.
Yeah, and like I said, notwithstanding what he did in the ring, he was one of the best.
He
Another
was one of
one that we're not mentioning is Eddie Guerrero.
Oh, I'll die on that.
Latino Heat, man, all day long, man. He was a fucking badass.
You know,
I say,
Mysterio was his best.
I go
Eddie
way
Guerrero-
back with the wrestling, and I can go back to Bruiser Brody and Buzz Sawyer. Those guys, I watched them all. Missing Link. That's going way back. So I've got a little bit of background on who I'm picking for shit. But,
I mean, that's your childhood. Like I always
Yeah,
go
I
back to
grew
the
up
Attitude
watching that
Era
shit,
and the
man.
Ruthless Aggression era. That's where me and Steve really came into it. The tail end of Attitude and the bulk of. I mean, we were around for the whole Ruthless Aggression.
Go back on. I don't know if y'all watched it on Peacock, or on the network, but the heyday of World Class Championship Wrestling.
Oh man,
Look
was
at the guys that came through there. You
God,
got
man.
Rick Rude. God, who else? The Ultimate Warrior was there.
The
Sting
fucking
came.
generics.
There were so many guys that came through there because that was the place to be.
Mhm.
Because it was so badass.
Agreed,
And
man.
look where they are now. They're either dead, and they should be in the Hall of Fame. But anyway,
Well, man, I think we have been long-winded enough. We've been doing this for an hour and 41 minutes. I think we're going to go ahead and wrap up tonight since we've made up for last week and definitely covered everything this week. I really enjoyed you coming on, Brad. Thank
Hell
you.
yeah.
hey man, thanks for the invite, dude.
Yeah, dude.
I thoroughly enjoyed
Yeah.
this shit. I would do it again with y'all if y'all have me come on and
Absolutely.
talk shit and whatever.
Hell yeah.
We'll definitely do it again, man. So, ladies and gentlemen, for now, that's going to be it for us. We'll see you back next Friday. Maybe we'll have Drew on. Maybe we'll have Brad on. Maybe we'll have our boy Mikey that was on with us 2 weeks ago.
We won't have Liao on.
Maybe the Injustice hippie Liao will be on. Let's see what
I
we can do. Maybe. But thank y'all for joining in. Brad, thank you.
Hey,
this was so much.
Thank you. This is an honor for you to holler at me, man. That's awesome.
I enjoyed the shit